Here we go. Hi everyone, it's me. It's time for the deciders. I am on my live Instagram and I'm looking for Sarah Barron to join me. Let's see who's requesting. There she is. Bang on time, girl. There she is. Let's get our where's she?
I'm here.
Hello.
How's it
Let's get
going?
our filters sorted quickly.
Oh my God, I was going to ask if you could tell that I didn't have one yet, and you
Well,
obviously
I haven't
could.
got one yet either. Yeah, that's the one I like. Just means that I don't have to put any hair and makeup.
So are you using one now? Hold on, where did this?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Oh, wait, here we go. What do you think of that?
That's good, but I quite liked all the hearts.
Oh, wait, send to. No, I'm just going to use it. I'm just using it.
Somebody just put, I want to paint you green and spank you like a naughty little avocado.
People are so comfortable expressing their opinions. Do you know what I'm dealing with right now is that I put on this pair of jeans that is so tight. I don't know if I can sit normally like this for a half hour. So I'm wondering
Without getting thrush.
You get more thrush than I do. I've never had thrush in my entire life. Can you believe that? I don't know what it means. I don't think it means I'm better than you.
Maybe you're a kind of superior person. Anyway, before we start, oh no, we're not going to start yet because it's 27 past.
Are you drinking again? You drank your gin last week. You going again this week?
Yes.
Yes, good. Did you put lime juice in there?
No, this is like a sipping gin.
Oh.
I just quickly on an aside, I watched that little video and I really like it, by the way, and I think it's great.
Good. Great. Is there a butt coming?
No.
Oh,
I think
great.
we should go for it.
Great. Then afterwards oh, see, that's not working, is it? God, Sarah. What a mess I am as a person. Great.
That's just
I think
so reassuring for the rest of us, though.
I know. Great. We'll talk about that afterwards. We put together a video for anyone who's watching. Paloma liked the edit.
I like the edit. Somebody's so jealous can't afford booze. I think they should include it in the food banks.
Oh,
God damn, you need it.
Yeah, God, I'm really sorry that you can't afford booze. I would say, I mean, is there not some really, really, really cheap beer that someone could treat themselves to?
Or Google the recipe for moonshine.
Oh my God, what a disaster that would be.
Do you think?
Can you imagine? You
could start fermenting your own stuff.
Go for it.
Think if you could get drunk on it.
Do you know what also I've decided?
What have you
decided? I think that our $8.25 food banks here can afford. Haha, Paloma, did you get my? Oh, okay, weird. I mean, said with respect for whoever just wrote that. I think we should start logging on at 8:27.
Okay.
Because someone said they wrote it. Wait. This is important. Someone said that they made their own gin. And I think that person should send me a DM with that message. I can't fit it in. I work at McDonald's and I just can't justify cost. I totally get it. But listen, I think for that person, we're going to find out how you can make your own gin. That's like a little service that we could provide.
Yeah, let's get the recipe and post it on our Instagrams.
Oh my God, we're heroes. I mean, it feels good right now to be a hero.
Also, we'd just like to add that we don't want to condone any misuse of alcohol.
No, we would never condone a misuse. But I will say,
being the child of an addict.
Of course, my dad as well, maybe more functionally than your father. No judgment, just based on the details that I know. Is that we would never condone. But I've said to you many times, I have to have a glass of wine at the end of the day in quarantine because it's just, I need that little treat. It's 8:30.
It's like a meltdown time. Anyway, it's 8:30 and we know what that means, Sarah.
Paloma, I'm so aware, but tell me anyway.
It's time for the deciders. And just so that anybody watching takes into consideration, I will not be singing. This is an adult only Instagram. So if you're watching this with your child, or if you're a child watching, please don't watch it anymore, because this is adult content.
Adult content.
And we're going to be the deciders.
We're going to be the deciders. You're going to give us our questions. We'll answer them. Also, one of my other disclaimers at the top, which I think we should be doing, is that we are better enjoyed as sort of like a podcast rather than a TV show. I suggest that people, because these Instagram lives, they can get boring. I say to people, listen to us while you cook your dinner or wash your face or do a tidy, right? Don't you think?
Or you're like in the bath with the door locked, hiding from your partner.
Exactly.
Pretending you've got important washing to do.
Exactly. My friend today was like, can I say this really quickly? I'm sorry to talk over you, but it was so relevant. This friend today who I called her, and she was like, I can't take the call for no other reason than that my husband thinks I'm working and I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm just sat here sort of avoiding the world, pretending to work. And I can't then justify a phone call, because this is what it's come to in these trying times. Anyway.
Yeah, you pretend to work.
Yeah, I mean,
I go down to my basement and I'm like, work, busy, bye-bye, sayonara. And then I go online shopping.
Yeah. Have you bought anything nice?
No, I only go online shopping now for food, and I'm obsessed by buying food on the internet. Like, I will literally just sit there looking at it, and I often fill a basket on a food website and don't actually click buy. It's really weird and obsessive.
Oh, interesting. What do
I think it's called an eating disorder.
Oh, is it like all the stuff you would go for if you were going to treat yourself?
Maybe.
Do you think that when you're like 55, your weight will balloon?
Yes. But I'm glad for that, because I think that from about 60, I do think it kind of looks better if you're older and chubbier. I don't know why.
My friend,
because your skin's like full.
Would you ever, someone wanted to know if you'd ever spit and chew. You eat the food and then you spit it out.
So no, I'm not really. I'm trying not. I'm desperately trying not to have an eating disorder, but obviously I'm a pop star.
You're a pop star, girl.
And I've got really big problems with it because of that. Listen. But anyway, can I just say that this week I have been like actively looking for questions around adultery in lockdown, and they're a bit thin on the ground. People have come forward, but I just wanted to discuss with you, Sarah, before we start today's episode, a little bit about an article that I read and I was fascinated by in Cosmopolitan, that was about people having love affairs in lockdown on an app called Illicit. What was it? I can't remember. I don't know if you read it.
I did read it.
It was something like, Illicit Encounters or something, which is an app apparently where everyone's married and you can actually meet other married people that want to get off with somebody else. And I was just thinking, like, I wonder if Illicit Encounters as an app is like down on its business. And then I was reading in the article and I was like, oh my God, there are people out there on lockdown who are actively having love affairs on digital format. Like, they must have big houses for a start, because how are you doing that quietly? Or are you going like for your walk and doing it on earphones and then sort of going into a bush to masturbate? I don't quite understand how anyone can have like an online love affair in lockdown when their partner's upstairs or next door.
I think I know, do you feel like it's a thing that happens to you with any frequency, that your partner would pick up your phone, not to spy, but just to have a look, like What is the likelihood that your boyfriend would look at your phone for some reason?
Well, he's a very discreet person and he's not that expressive. So when he's sad, he's the same as when he's happy. So I wouldn't know, but I don't think he would. But I might be completely deluded.
Because I like, my husband picks up my phone all the time for different reasons. Like, and I would never ever let something illicit be on my, like, privacy has nothing to do with it. Meaning, or sorry, the size of our house would have nothing to do with it. If there was something on my phone, the possibility that my husband would find it is astronomically high because we're both in each other's pockets in that way. But I think if there's just not a precedent for you guys handling each other's phones, and I'll tell you what, when I first got together with my husband, I would like look at his Facebook messages sometimes and be like, what's he up to? And now I couldn't care less. Like, I trust him to not fuck somebody else. So if he were to send some sort of flirtatious message, I wouldn't even really, like, I just sort of don't want to know. Do you know what I mean? Because so the point is, I think you could get away with it as long as you have relative confidence that your partner isn't up in your emails or messages or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but like, what could possibly you do other than just mass wank in front?
But you're getting a thrill. You're getting like
because it's naughty.
Because it's naughty, and you're getting like an adrenaline high, and you're getting someone who you sent a photo to, and they find you sexy, and there's suddenly some sort of sexual thrill.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I have had moments in lockdown where I'm like, this is boring. It's the same person. And then I just think, okay, when the lockdown's finished, I'm going to have an affair. That's what I'm going to do. And of course I'm not going to have an affair, but it's sort of like, it actually helps me get through the lockdown to think that that's what, and when it actually happens and the doors open and the gates of heaven open, of course I'm not going to have an affair. It's like the most ridiculous idea ever, because if I did, I'd probably cry and then it wouldn't be very hot. But like, it's kind of helping me. Those like mental things are helping me, even though I don't know who it would be with or if I even ever fancy anybody else, because I quite often don't.
If you're indulging in an affair fantasy, does it tend toward being someone you know well versus someone you've met once versus someone from your past?
No one I know feels appealing to me.
What about someone you know a little bit?
No, I can't think of anyone that's like attractive, which is why I think that I'm not going to have this affair. Of course I'm not going to have this affair. I can't anyway, because the Pats would love it, wouldn't they?
I was going to say.
Yeah, like, I just sort of think, I'll be fine when we get out.
Whoa. Someone just wrote something good. Someone just wrote, I missed some of it, but basically someone just wrote in that I think she found out her ex was cheating. We have a question kind of like this evening.
Okay.
Like, people who are in the situation where not long before lockdown, they found out that their spouse was cheating. So now they can't, like, they are stuck together.
Should we segue into that one? Because there is a question here that is that for you, Sarah. And
my gosh.
My wife told me this morning that she cheated on me 3 years ago, and now we're in lockdown together. What do I do? Let's address it.
My God. I mean, I'm really trying to think, okay, if my husband said he cheated and we were in, so I feel that, as far as I know, my husband has never cheated on me. I've not cheated on him. We've been together like 9 years, which sort of feels like forever, but in the context of a marriage, it's a very short span of time, actually. And I've thought, like, what would I do if he did cheat? And I sort of think one time is forgivable, and then like more than one time isn't. So if someone cheated on you 3 years ago, here's what I think. I think in the context of a lockdown, if someone is confessing an old infidelity, it's like, maybe in a way she's feeling especially close to you, and she feels like there's sort of a safe environment. Exactly. So I think you should work to forgive her if it's just that one time. You know, I also think there's like, cheating isn't just one thing. I think that, like, If it happened once, that's one thing. If it was 6 months, that's another thing. If it was love versus sex, right? All those things sort of figure in. But basically, I think if it's in quarantine.
Yeah, because if it's like cheated on me 3 years ago and it was a one-off, like she went out one night, made a mistake, and she was like, I've been living with this burden and I don't forgive myself, and it was a mistake and I knew it, but I didn't want to tell you, then there's room to work on. But if she's like, oh, I cheated on you 3 years ago for 5 years.
Oh, then you have to leave, I think, right?
Yeah, but you can't leave because you're in lockdown.
Well, if you've made the decision to leave and you literally can't leave, then I think you
need to get on Amazon and buy an inflatable mattress and sleep yourself on that until the motherfucker ends.
Yeah, and like have some that, first of all, that was very sage advice. Well, very well said. And I think like have some online sex with someone else. I might do that.
Also, why is this person telling him 3 years later?
I think if someone is choosing to tell you about something 3 years ago, I think that's going to be because maybe she's having a breakdown, so like she can't control herself. Or maybe I do think there are some people who are probably like feeling closer than ever because they're getting all this time. I know. But congratulations to you. So, my advice would be if you can forgive her, forgive her. If you can't, I think Paloma's advice about a blow up mattress and just separating for as much as you can for as long as you can is wise.
Yeah, you need to like do some punishing. Even if you're going to stay together, you need to like symbolize the fact that you're really upset about it for a bit.
Symbolize, strong idea. Have you ever cheated on someone who's not your husband?
Do you know what? I have
never baby daddy?
cheated. I've never cheated on anyone in my entire life, which is why I think it might be my like mental fantasy, because I don't think I could ever do it, and I don't think I'm the type. I'm too honest. I'm one of those people whose face just says everything. Like I can't lie. So I'd just be caught out. Plus the added factor that I'm now in the public eye.
Oh my God.
It would be ridiculous if I even tried. But yeah, so no. Have you?
I've yeah.
By the way, I'm jealous of people who have.
Yeah, I can see how you would be, especially like as a famous person. That's you can't. You could really never do it. You could go to the States. To be honest, you could be in the States. And how long had you been together when it happened?
Not long. Like this was when I was younger.
What I used to do when I was younger is like I would, like in my 20s, I had a boyfriend and I wanted to cheat on him. Like there was someone I wanted to sleep with and I know I could. So I would sleep with people and then use that as the motivator to end the relationship. So like I cheated, but then I broke up with the boyfriend within a week.
Yeah, I've done that. Like I don't call cheating. So this is what I did. I did it not the week later, but I broke up with someone because I was having impure thoughts about someone else. So I broke up with them. Then I slept with the other person within days of breaking up with the one. And then after I'd realized that was a mistake, I got back with the person. That's not cheating.
No, but it's needing to not make it's like really wanting to not make like a sort of sexual sacrifice. But I remember I had this boyfriend like right before I met my husband, and I had the opportunity to cheat on him and I didn't because I wanted to know that I was capable of like not cheating. And now I just sort of wish I'd done it, because it was like, I feel like once you're in a long-term marriage, you're like, oh, I should have just like grabbed every available dick when I wasn't married. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I also think this boils down to the question which everyone's thinking about in lockdown, which is, are human beings meant to be with the same person for life? It's a
No.
big question. I know that socially we think we should, and we're sort of like trained to think about morals, and I'm totally that person, probably a bit more than you, Sarah, like obsessed by not like being amoral to the point where I would almost paralyze myself. And the reality is, the question is it even what we're supposed to be doing? Aren't we supposed to just be like getting bored and then just jumping to the next one when we're bored?
Yep.
Because that's what I used to do, and it was great fun. But then I had a child, and now I'm worried about their psychology.
Well, maybe you could do maybe you could have sex with someone else while your partner watched and masturbated. That's genuinely something that's occurred to me recently. I'm like, maybe my husband would want to masturbate to me fucking another man.
No, I know your husband, and I know that unless that guy was like his equal or slightly inferior to him in the looks department, he couldn't do it.
Here's what I wonder if he could handle. I've not suggested it to him. I hope he's watching now. I think that if it was a real hunky dude, like who was very different from my husband. So like if my husband didn't feel threatened by him intellectually, I feel like maybe he'd be okay with it. But I sort of have a type. Like everyone I'm attracted to is sort of funny and gross, but in a hot way. That's how I describe my type.
Like nerdy, but hot and quite bright and quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I like to be the dumb one. It's important to me to feel like I'm the dumb one, and I'm not dumb. So I need someone
really clever.
I mean, it's a very, very self-congratulating thing to say, but that is sort of how I think about it. Should we do some of our rapid fire questions?
Yeah. So, do you want to start with yours, quick fire?
Well, someone just asked what your type was, Paloma, and I can tell you she likes incredibly handsome men. I've known 3 of Paloma's partners. They're all handsome. 2 out of 3 are like astronomically handsome. The third one was like sort of hot, but not as handsome. And you're not particularly attracted to white men.
I have dabbled, but I prefer.
You've dabbled. I've seen you dabble.
I prefer non-white.
You prefer non-white. I prefer white because I'm racist. No, I'm equal opportunity. But with a penchant these days for Asian, that's my number. Like if I could have sex with anyone on the planet,
American Asian or British Asian? I mean, like
British Asian.
So you mean Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi?
I've really developed an attraction to that look, and I'm sure that must be. I always feel like I never know. I never understand what is and isn't racist in these departments. I know if you like defend yourself against racism by being like, but I've had sex with this many black men, that's racist. But in terms of going, oh, I have in the last 5 years found myself very attractive to Asian men.
I empathize. It's fine. Anyway, let's do this quick fire.
Okay, here are your rapid fires. You have to answer, Paloma, yes or no. Okay, here we go. This isn't yes or no, but keep it quick. Okay, said with respect. Number 1, what should I watch on Netflix?
Flowers. I have not stopped laughing, and I have not stopped crying at this. And like the writer who plays one of the characters, wrote, directed everything. He's called Will Self, is a genius.
Oh, yeah, of course. And it's called Glowers? Flowers. That makes more sense.
Watch that.
Okay. Number 2, in the context of a relationship, does wanking count as cheating?
Yes. Wanking with someone else?
No. Like if you I assume no, because obviously that would be cheating. But I mean, sort of like, do you ever feel like if you think
like just having a wank is absolutely not cheating? That's a God-given right.
It's a God-given right.
Although and also it's much quicker and more efficient than actually sleeping with your partner.
But I will say sometimes I will have a wank and regret it only because I know it lessens my ability to really be wanting it like the next day if I think I might have it. And that can feel like oh, we would have better sex tomorrow if I didn't wank today. I think that's more
I'm different. I think the more that women do it, the more they want to have sex. That's just my view.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. I would like to know anyone's opinion if they feel the same. So Paloma has just identified.
This is meant to be quick fire.
Okay, but I think that's an interesting point. Let me just quickly say, I think the question is to whether you feel like you need to save up your sexual energy so you'll have an orgasm more easily with your partner.
I think that's what men have to do, and I think women have to masturbate as often as possible.
Oh my God, I think the reverse. Okay, would love to know what other people think. Okay, next question.
People are saying they agree. Anyway, go on.
Who do they agree with? You? Probably, because you're like the alpha. Okay, fine. In the context of a relationship, this is good. In the context of a relationship, may I use sex as a negotiating tactic?
Meaning?
I think it means like if you're angry at your husband or your wife about something, could you withhold sex as a punishment?
I don't think that I think that happens naturally. I think that if you're angry at your partner, you don't want to sleep with them. No. Yeah. I don't know if it's something you consciously do, like I'm going to do it as a punishment. You just look at them, you're like, you're so irritating. I cannot.
Totally. I'll sometimes say to my husband, like, if you'll just do this for me, like I'll blow.
People are saying that's a form of control and wrong. And I think, actually, no, you're wrong. Because if you're an annoying F, then why should we be sleeping with you? No.
Yeah, I think, as you said, if you're just angry at someone, you wouldn't do it anyway.
No, it's not a punishment. It's just like, you're not attractive because I hate you. Because the fact that you refused, you know, you ate macaroni cheese at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's gross. Of course,
you think that's gross?
No, but some people feel that way. I don't mind. I know somebody thinks that's disgusting.
Oh. Okay. Wait, listen, 2 more. My husband insists on taking a bath before cutting his toenails because he says the bath softens the nails and makes cutting them less painful. Is this a thing?
Your husband's annoying me already. I just want to move on from this question because I find that so irritating.
Fine, she doesn't suffer fools. Number 5, oral sex on my period, yes or no?
What, for you or him? For you, presumably.
It must be, would your husband...
Well, if you both consent, then just go for it. But if it makes you feel weird, just don't.
I would find it very attractive if someone wanted to do it to me on my period, but I think also the bad feminist in me would feel uncomfortable. Several men have written in saying that this approach to cutting toenails is standard. That's all I'll say. Gross. Okay. Paloma,
I just cut my toenails before this Insta Live and I didn't have a bath. So, and it was fine.
Because this is what they say, women have a higher pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a question. This person included their name. She is Janine.
No, but we're not doing names.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we're ever doing names on this.
Never?
No.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't have used her last name, but I won't use it now. Okay.
I think we just don't do names.
Never a name.
Never a name.
Ew, someone said their husband has owl-like feet. Cool. Okay. Here's the question. So my husband was moaning at me for being messy, so I had to go at him about 2 pairs of flip-flops being left out. This pissed me off so much that he then threatened, pissed him off so much that he then threatened to throw anything of mine that I left on the floor straight into the bin. So then I literally picked up his flip-flops and put them in the bin. He got really annoyed and gathered up all my clothes from the bedroom floor. But because he can't actually be mean to me, he wound up folding them all up and putting them next to the bin. Then I called him a pussy because he didn't have the guts to throw my stuff away. We both wound up laughing at each other. Discuss.
I love them.
Yeah, I love them. I mean,
I just think, I feel like this is definitely like heartwarming and it's like the tip of the iceberg with most people. Like, obviously, we're doing this, Sarah, because you're a comedian and I'm trying to lighten everyone's mood a bit also. And actually, there are some really heavy situations going on in relationships in lockdown.
Yeah.
And I just think that actually this couple are doing really well, obviously, because it's so sweet that he's actually taken the time to fold them up and put them next to the bin. It is just like, it's like a beautiful statement of his love, but slight annoyance.
Yes.
I
And
think
I
it's
think
poetic. I think it's like modern poetry.
I think it's I think in any relationship where you have a sense of equality between partners, it's like it makes me very comfortable. Like
Yeah.
when I can tell that a couple are equals, I feel very comfortable in their presence, which you can tell these people are. Whereas the second I can smell any level of inequality in a relationship, it makes me uncomfortable.
And I also just think that this is like, I mean, I am the type of person to be like, you're a pussy, come on. Like, and I think that's just like, he's just like, I love you, so I'm going to fold them up. That's love.
He's afraid of her. I also think like the
Do you think
key.
he's afraid of her?
Creating a profile. Someone says, what do you think about creating a profile on Tinder, but not to meet someone, just to see the types of guys? Awesome. I just think
Do it. I love going on people's Tinders.
Oh my God. Sarah, you still got your Midwestern accent. Oh, thank you. I mean, Sarah, thank you. That makes me feel nice. I thought I'd, gotten rid of it, but still there.
Hey, it's nearly 9 o'clock. Do you want to do your rapid fire round?
Yeah.
Because I've got I feel like there's some good questions. So let's move to your rapid fire.
Okay.
Okay. Is it cheating if I use more than one dating app?
Absolutely not.
Is it okay to fancy Rishi Sunak?
Yes.
After what you've already said about Asians.
I mean, you know that I fancy him. Yes. It's disconcerting to me to find myself fancying a Tory, but I do with him, but I think it can only exist in the context of quarantine.
Yeah, because he's a Tory. Right. Is it okay to fancy Dominic Raab?
Never.
I've written a poetry collection about the experience of quarantine. Should I publish it on Twitter?
I think it's a no. I think my advice to people always is if you have to self-publish, don't publish.
Oh, really? Okay, you're more professional than me. Okay, I'm a lesbian and my girlfriend's hair has grown out in such a way that she looks like Nicola Sturgeon. Should I suggest a buzz cut?
Oh, yeah. I have a few friends who conform to lesbian stereotypes by having relatively short, boyish haircuts. And I think generally going too short rather than too long is pretty hot, as long as the face is okay. Like if your girlfriend has a busted face, do we want to see that with a buzz cut? I'm not sure, but try it.
Okay, I'm going to go on to like a long lead question for you because I feel like I've talked a lot about my fascination with people having an affair.
Oh.
And I think we can put some others that we've left out to bed. Fine. And we'll do them next week. But anyway, so this one, here we go. Usually I feel attractive and sexual because of interactions outside of the home. I've been with my partner for 6 years. I've never cheated and I don't plan to. I like to work hard, play hard, invent new ways of being fun and changing stuff up. And this makes me feel attractive and therefore sexual. Right now, though, I'm just at home being a mum, not getting dressed up ever, and absolutely not wanting to have sex at all. Is my marriage going to die, and what can I do?
Okay, number one, marriage isn't going to die. I just don't think marriages are, no, your marriage is not going to die. What I think is you have to get dressed up. You have to do sexy things regularly for no reason. So you have to put makeup on to go on your daily exercise with your kid. if you feel sexy because you shave your pubes or your armpit or your leg, you have to do that. I think also, based on what we were saying before, I think if you're feeling very non-sexual, very good solutions to that are regular exercise if you can manage it, and masturbating. Like, I think if you like do shit for your body, like you have a wank and you sweat every day, I think the vagina starts to respond to those activities. So my advice would be regular makeup, regular shaving, assuming that's something that makes you feel sexual, exercise, and wank.
Yeah, but that's so hard, isn't it, to motivate yourself to do that?
Well,
Especially like with the kid or kids, we don't know. And it's like, I looked at my legs before we started this Insta Live and I thought, I taught myself how to wax my legs a month ago and I haven't done it again since, and they look horrendous. And looking at the same face every day is starting to jar.
yes, but I think like I don't need motivation to put makeup on. I just feel so much better if I do it. So most days I'm putting on makeup and that helps me feel like I don't have to motivate to do it. But you're saying you do have to motivate to do it?
Yeah, I only put it on for this once a week.
Well, I would say to someone who feels robbed of their sexuality that some regular hair maintenance and makeup would help.
Wow, I might take your advice also.
I'm very wise. Someone asked
Hey,
if
Sarah. Oh,
sorry.
she's frozen. Hi, Sarah. People are asking if they want to submit questions, how they should, and I'm
Yes,
thinking,
I saw that.
are your Twitter's DMs open to
No,
anyone?
not if I'm Sarah. What they should do with questions, I'm Sara Barron, SaraBarron 1,000,000. And that person should send me their questions, or on Twitter, they can do it with the hashtag Sara, Paloma, and Sara the Deciders. That's too complicated. They should just do it via Instagram to me.
Yeah, or every Tuesday I usually post something on my stories which prompts you to send your questions in. And if you could make them as long and elaborate as possible, that would be great, even if you have to use several different boxes to do it because the characters are reduced. If you want to remain anonymous, you can slide into Sarah's DMs, or you can do which is quite hot.
Very hot. Yeah, and give us specifics surrounding the circumstance because that helps us.
Yeah, but we'll be here every Wednesday, 8:30, solving your marriage problems.
All right, Paloma.
And
9:03.
I think today we didn't do the gesture at all, but we just want to say so many things were
decided. I think we were very, we're trying to be very present at the moment.
Yeah, so we forgot about
each other.
our motif.
And so then we lost our motif. Okay. Decided. What are you going to go do right now? As soon as this is over, tell us what you're going to go do as soon as this is done.
Maybe write a song. What about you?
I'm going to drink my wine and watch like half of a film on TV that my husband wouldn't want to watch because he's working this evening.
Excellent. So anybody who wants to slide into Sarah's DMs for this, please do. Mine are blocked because if I let people slide into my DMs, too many.
Holy shit.
And also every Tuesday I prompt you. So thank you for tuning in.
See you next week.
Paloma Faith
and Sara Barron, and we've been the Deciders. What a pack of assholes. See you next week. Bye.